welcome back to another episode of State of Sonder. As mentioned in my last episode, I did decide to wrap this as a season, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break to reset, record with some new guests, and bring on a fresh new round for the next season. But today, I'm bringing on someone that I was so excited about, Meaghan. She is the owner of Nezzy Studios. She is just so incredibly talented and just so insanely creative. She is someone that is really inspiring to me, and I just really wanted to get to know her story. I feel like I know a lot of creatives in the digital space, but she does the digital art and also she does traditional art, and she does amazing paintings. And I just kind of wanted to pick her brain a little bit, and she is just the sweetest soul. And I think she really kind of opens up about how she gets inspired for her art, where she gets her creativity from. And I just feel like she is someone who is truly, truly at the core a creative and an artist. I am really excited for you to listen to this episode, and I hope you enjoy. Hello, Meaghan. Welcome to State of Sonder.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a lot of questions that I want to ask you. But first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Did you do anything fun yesterday night?
Yesterday, no, I was just hanging out at the house. I didn't really do too much. I don't really like going out anymore. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you not been going out to like events or anything like that recently?
Not so much.
Because we met from that kind of scene, right?
Yes,
actually, how did we meet? Where was it? Was it at
like a Pangea party, I think.
Pangea or Link Up, which we all went to many of times. So this is like LA summer party on Sundays. Yeah. We haven't gone anymore either. But I think we should this summer.
We should.
Because I feel like everyone's like coming alive, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should bring it back. Bring that summer back.
When is the next one? Moni, do you know? Soon?
Probably July 4th.
Really?
Wait, isn't White Durock having a LA party?
I'm not sure when.
In August? Okay. Well, we'll figure one out, and then we'll go with T and everybody and have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. It's gonna be so fun.
So I don't know where to begin because I have so many questions that I want to ask you. But first, this is something that I asked the guests that I've forgotten to, but with my friends, we always do a peak of the week and a pit of the week. Okay. So what is your pit and your peak? Now I kind of feel like I know your pit.
Well, my peak is I'm starting a new painting and I'm halfway, to finishing my collection. So I guess that's my peak. Yeah, my pit is I'm just going through like personal issues. And yeah.
But I feel like with art, when you go through things personally, it like manifests in your creativity.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how?
I think that's like how I started painting. I kind of, have a lot of feelings.
Okay.
So I have to figure out a way to, release them. And painting and drawing was that for me when I was little. It was definitely an outlet. So yeah, that's pretty much
how it happens. Okay. So I actually wanted to talk about like your childhood and things like that, just because I know a lot of creatives, but I don't know a lot of creatives that do what you do. Like you paint and you draw, and you also do like digital art. I remember when I was starting design, like we had a conversation where you were like, oh, I'm trying to get into 3D, and now you're like doing it. Yeah. So it's like when you were younger, did you always kind of feel like creativity was a thing for you? Like art was always like a medium for you?
For sure. I think it started when I was in kindergarten.
Oh, I remember
this time where I brought my mom a piece of like my art, and the teacher was talking about it and stuff, and I was like, I really like doing this,
Oh my God.
And I was the nerd that would like copy like Pokemon cards and like draw it in class and stuff. And then during high school, I would get in trouble for drawing in class too. So
like instead of doing work,
my teachers would be like, "That's a great drawing, but
you're supposed to be doing something else.
Your notes."
So, is anyone in your family like an artist?
My uncle was.
Okay.
I pretty much watched him draw like when I was a kid.
And you always wanted to like kind of follow.
Yeah, I think that was an influence. Like it was around. He was the one that pretty much like took care of me and my sister when my mom was at work. So yeah, I think that's.
So then, okay, so because you started at such a young age, like like there are kids who grow up knowing exactly what they want to do because they were doing it when they were young, right? I always talk about this of like when people had a camera in their hand since they were like 5 years old and making home videos, and then they end up becoming like these like filmmakers. Not everyone has that, but like for you love drawing from a young age. So did you always kind of know the direction you wanted to go in terms of like your work?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No, I thought I hid my like drawing for a long time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was very scared of like people knowing just because I didn't want to get bullied.
Why would people bully you?
I don't know.
For
I was
drawing?
just very scared.
Okay,
because it was very like nerdy, and I didn't want people to. It was very vulnerable for me, I guess.
Okay.
And I didn't want people to see that, or like kids to see that, because I felt like they would, I don't know, make fun of me or something. But so during high school, that's when I didn't really tell anybody. And then there's this one year where I was, I think, helping someone with a project, and everyone was like, I didn't know you know how to draw, or so it was like an eye-opening thing where I'm like, okay, they're not going to make fun of me. Yeah. It's just my, my kind of like fear. And then after high school, I did not know what to do. I didn't think that there would be a path for me in art in general. But that was the only thing I was good at. That was literally the only thing I was good at. So I think I saw like an ad for the Art Institute. I really wanted to go to the Academy of Art, but it was just too expensive. So I tried to find other places to go just so I can like learn, more. So I went to the Art Institute. I learned a lot. It wasn't, fine art that I was used to. So that's where I got all of my digital like knowledge from. So I think that's where the 3D, like, 2D knowledge comes in. After graduation, I still was like lost. I didn't know what to do. But I kept painting. I kept trying to like sell my paintings, sell my prints, do a lot of art shows. Started doing a lot of album covers.
Oh, okay. Just for like for fun or for like actual like artists? For actual artists.
Okay. So that's where I kind of got my start. Some people asked me like, oh, you know how to do art, so can you do my album cover? And then it kind of evolved to 2D or like animation. And I think, that's where the 2D
3D
animation
kind of
started.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I wanted to venture out into 2D because I really wanted to be a character designer. Like,
oh, okay.
That's what I wanted to do. That's when I first went into college. I was like, I don't know how to like what my focus should be. They're teaching me all of these things about like, all of the technology or whatever, because they teach you literally like everything. They teach you 2D, they teach you 3D gaming. Like,
oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know what direction I wanted to, where to go. And I think for me at that time, I was like, I love drawing characters. I had a little black book like during high school, so I would like draw all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I think character design is like what I want to do. So I kind of just focused on my portfolio, but I think that just wasn't.
It was not
like,
cutting it for you.
Yeah. I don't think I was just as good as the people that are like in the industry. And as much as I practiced and whatever, I just didn't feel. I was just gonna be honest with myself, like it wasn't fun. Like I tried so hard to like draw characters and stuff, and I just don't think didn't think it was for me.
Generally, from like when you're doing character design, like what kind of paths do those kind of people generally go into? Just because there's like very much like graphic heavy stuff, right? Which is the stuff that I'm familiar with. Right. But when you do like character animation and things like that, what's the general trajectory or path that you usually go in career?
To be like, to go into like cartoons. Okay. So I wanted to design characters for cartoons. Okay. And you would literally draw like the turns, like the front of the character, the back of the character, like all the views. And so that's what a character designer does essentially.
And then you animate that whole thing.
They don't really animate. They can, but for character designing, you're designing like the props sometimes, what they wear. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just yeah.
So then with like digital design, because I did not go to school for design, so it's like when you were learning all these things besides character animation or character design, was there anything like in the digital space that like really piqued your interest?
Not necessarily. I think I just really loved animation, and I didn't care which direction I wanted to go in. So I just experimented with everything and anything.
So you were just like always like the creative aspect like really fueled you and like interested you, because I talk about this a lot where like with design work, yes, it's a lot about creativity and like your eye, but it's also just as much at like, what is it called? Like technical skills. It's like knowing how to use these programs and like knowing how to use them well. And to be able to get there, you have to really want to do it.
Right.
Because like this shit is not easy. Like it's so hard. And I'm the first one to say it. I was like, I'm going to be a 3D designer. And then I was like, fuck this. I don't like it, you know, but like for you, this stuff like actually like makes you really excited and like, right?
Yeah.
But from the digital space now, because now you're like fully like making your pieces and like doing painting and doing art. So like, how did that pivot kind of happen?
Honestly, I think it was more just money related. 2D, you know, it's kind of like a dying art, and not a lot of people there. You know, there are a lot of like cuts during like COVID, and there's still cuts going on. So it was just hard for me to, you know, navigate through that while still trying my hardest to like be in that industry. And then people are just getting like losing their jobs, even the people that are like really good. So I was just like, how can I make money?
honestly,
like, and I just tried to utilize what I'm good at, and that's why that's so where we're at.
Currently, what are you doing like currently in terms of, because I know like your creative side, like I've been watching all your videos and things like that, but like have you been like doing freelance or anything like that with digital stuff still?
Yeah. Okay. There are a couple people that ask me to do like album covers still. I do a lot of flyers for parties.
You're doing that's still White Durag.
I'm doing White Durag, for Guapdad. So there are still like, you know, there's still like a demand for that part. I really want to get into 3D.
Okay.
Like
which I've been seeing like some of the stuff.
Like,
yeah.
So I think like I've learned that in college, and since, you know, I know that, you know, all of those things, I'm like, okay, how can I take that and still use my artistic expression and use it in the industries, and then
like make money. That's the goal, right?
I want to be able to enjoy what I'm doing, and make money at the same time.
I mean, that's truly like, I feel like what everyone is kind of looking for, and when you can find that, it's like epic.
Yeah.
But with 3D, are you doing most of the things in like what program?
Blender.
Okay. Is Blender, because I've never learned Blender. Is Blender like a user-friendly type program?
Very user-friendly.
Oh, really? Okay.
I actually learned Maya in school. Like they didn't teach us Blender. Not sure if Blender was like available at the time, because Blender's free. Maya isn't. And Maya is just so complicated. You don't know like where to go. And since I was, you know, like I knew Maya, Blender was a lot easier to learn just because they had the same like commands. And,
it's so interesting because there's so many 3D programs. So for me, when I was learning, the industry standard was Cinema 4D.
Right.
So like I'm just going to say I tried to learn it because I still don't know how to use it, but it's like, it's so complicated and like so many different aspects of it that I was just like, I don't get this, but like, is Blender that way?
Yeah. I think it's a lot easier than Maya, just because it's the what do you call it? Like
the interface?
The interface is just easier to look at. There's not that many like buttons where you're just like super confused on where to click. And YouTube is like so helpful.
YouTube University.
I literally just looked everything up on YouTube.
Oh wow, but you did have the baseline from like your schooling.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the marketing stuff, because you were talking about like how like you would kind of want to go into that space with like 3D design.
Yeah.
You worked on the like billboard, right, for Zigzag.
Yeah.
Okay, which is crazy because I saw that like in Times Square, and that's crazy. So what was the process like for that?
It was pretty easy, you know, like they reached out. I had like already an idea of what to do, but it they just give me like kind of like a brief of what they think, and they already have like a mock-up of what to do. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. It's pretty like simple. Like they just give you like, okay, here's our idea, do it. But then I have the freedom to animate how I want it to, and you know, so I still have some creative freedom. It's just they already have an idea.
Okay. So do you actually, as a creative, prefer when the concept is already kind of built and like briefed and like you just make it come to life, or do you actually prefer like the start where it's like conception, all of that, and then actioning it?
I think I like the brief more just because I know exactly like what they're expecting. I think when it comes to just, hey, here, you could do whatever you want, it's a lot harder because I have to guess what they expect. And it's easier with people that I know. So like with the creative freedom, it's easier if an artist comes to me and I know like their style and how they, you know, react on Instagram. And I'm like, okay, I can take that information and be like, this is what they like. I'm just going to go with this style and then, you know, hope for the best.
That. Yeah. So. No, I totally agree because I feel like some people, though, they're very much about like, no, I want the creative freedom from the start and I want to like create the like brief and the concept and blah, blah. And I understand that. But I'm like, when you do that, I have no idea what to do. And I have no idea what direction to go with. So I'd rather be told what to do and just like make it, you know? But it's interesting because with artists in general, it kind of goes both ways. But okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So like that's like digital art stuff. So now I want to get into like your paintings and like how that has come about, because I know you were always into drawing, but last year was the first time that you did like a full art show. And it was the first time, right? Or
in LA.
To that level. So how did that how long, I guess, was the process to create all of those pieces, and what was like your inspiration in terms of like the concept behind it? And like, okay, I don't want to ask too many questions. Let's start there.
I think one day I was painting, and then I was painting. So I draw this character. I've been drawing her ever since I was like in college, because I wanted to be a character designer, but I was stuck with this character for some reason. I think like, cause I mean, I was just going through tough times and I felt like she was kind of like my alter ego.
Okay.
And her name is Nezzy. And so that's where Nezzy Studios came from. So I was painting her or whatever. And then I had this idea of like putting stickers on her. And then I think a lot of people that I was like living, or my roommates at the time, they're like, oh, that's like super cool. Like it would be really like cool if like you had a collection, or like if you like painted other people, and like they wanted their portrait done. So I'm like, what if I do like a whole collection about my friends? Like, and so I asked, you know, certain people like, hey, if you're interested in getting your portrait done, I'm doing a show. Whoever is interested, send me your portrait and I'll paint you. And then I just pretty much had a whole show around like, you know, friends and friendship and how important it is, and like how I love it. It's so me. And how, you know, just who you're surrounded with is very important. So that's what the show is about.
I love that. And like everyone like showed up, and like it was really cool to see. Like I think truly you are maybe one of the only like artists I know that does this medium, because I think a lot of people that I know are in the digital space, and my mom was actually an artist.
Really?
Yes, and she like painted a lot
my
and she was
gosh.
an art teacher in Korea before she came here. Yeah. And I'm like, I
Wow.
can't paint, so I don't know.
That's
I don't like I can't draw at all. So I'm like, but because of that,
Yeah.
I think when I see art like that, just like in this medium, it's so cool, and like seeing all your work come together. I'm sure it was like
Yeah.
such a proud moment for you as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
did you do this in the Bay as well? Or
I think this was my first solo show. I threw a lot of shows in the Bay with other artists. I think the first one I did, it was an all-female show.
okay.
And so I
very
had
cool.
like all, different types of mediums, different types of all different types of women, coming together. And so I think I wanted to just like have women band together and just like come and build a community,
Oh, I love
like
that.
a safe community. So that was my first one. And then I just ended up having like little shows here and there. And then I was just like, I like this. I like
doing these kind of things.
doing
Oh,
these
I
kind of
love that.
events.
So okay. In the beginning, I was going to talk about you like being from the Bay, and I like went into like all these different tangents, but let's talk
Yeah.
about that. So you were born and raised in the Bay, and then when did you come to LA?
I came to LA about what year is it?
2025, yeah.
5 years ago, because I
Okay.
came in 2020, right before COVID.
Right before COVID.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I had just come out from a 7-year relationship.
Oh my. Okay.
A 7-year relationship, which was very hard. I was scared, but my sister was like, hey, do you want to move to LA? Let's go, come with me. Let's, because she is a writer too, and she wanted to be in that space in the industry. So I'm like, okay, let's
Just go.
follow our dreams. And yeah,
God,
so
I
we
love
moved in
that.
together at first, and yeah, I've been here ever since.
So okay, do you like LA more, or do you like? I asked you the question because a lot of people come from the Bay to LA and they're here for a minute, but like I know the Bay Area pride, so
I love LA, but the Bay will just always be home.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing like the Bay.
do you go often?
I go at least every month. Like,
Wait, really?
Yeah. For some reason, like I'm not gonna go to the Bay anymore just because I just need to like save money this month or whatever. But for some reason, like for me, I'm like, I need to be there for my friends, or because there's like a birthday party or like a baby shower or something going on, and I'm like, yeah, I need to be there.
So
Like,
so do you even now, like your community kind of is more over there than here, would you say?
I think it's slow. I'm slowly like building my community here.
Yeah.
Just because it does take a little time to meet friends and stuff, but I think it's like now kind of equal.
Kind
like
of equal, yeah. I feel like you built a
Yeah.
really amazing community here.
I think so too.
Yeah, like everyone's so great, and like they're
Yeah.
so fun, and I feel like whenever
Yeah.
we get to hang out, I'm always like, oh, like they have like a family here.
Yeah, it really does feel like family. And I'm
Yeah.
really blessed because it's in LA, it's just really hard to make friends and make the right friends. So
Yeah. So when you came here, COVID literally just happened.
Yeah.
So like, were you like, fuck this, like I just moved out here and now we can't go outside, or like how was that experience?
I was like, am I making the right decision? Should I just go home?
So were you like actually, what did you do, I guess, in that time when you're like in lockdown?
I think it really helped being COVID really helped me just because I was also getting out of a relationship of 7 years. So I just took that time to reflect and heal and get to know myself and how I wanted to kind of like navigate art and pretty much what I wanted to do with my life. Yeah, it was a tough time.
That's a long time. 7 years is a long time. So
Yeah.
was that when you were, I'm trying to like math right now. Like, was that a high school relationship or like a
It was
college?
after high school. Yeah, it was
Okay.
mostly like, I think I was like out of college.
Okay.
Yeah, right out of college.
So if you don't mind me asking, what do you think was like, after when you like reflected and stuff, like what was like your biggest like learning from that experience? You're like, what did I not learn?
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah.
I think there were just a lot of doubts for sure
Mhm, mhm.
because I didn't leave for any like bad reason. It's just I wanted to venture out. I couldn't stay in the Bay anymore. I just felt stuck. I felt like I reached my peak in the Bay, and I felt like I just couldn't do that with the partner I was with. I needed the freedom, and there was nothing wrong with him or anything. I loved his family. He was great. He's a great person. There was nothing wrong with him. I had a dream.
Oh, girl.
I just had a big dream, and I had to go, like,
you had to spread your wings.
Spread my wings. Yeah.
So, okay. I also think that when you're in a relationship, like right out of college, like you're in your early 20s and like you change so much, you know, in your early 20s into your mid 20s into your late 20s. Like I feel like I changed the most when I turned 30. So it's like those years are so pivotal. And I feel like sometimes when you're in something comfortable, like a lot of times people don't leave that, you know, but like for you, that conviction for your dream was so strong, which is like, honestly, very admirable. So like that is really amazing for you. But like, okay, so what is your sign? I'm like so curious now because even that, what you're telling me now, because you told me like before this episode that you have like a very sensitive spirit and things like that, but to be able to make a move like that and be like, no, I'm very passionate about this and so sorry, I'm gonna take this like gigantic leap of faith. That's hard. So now I have no idea what your sign is.
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
I'm a Leo.
I was gonna think you were more a water sign.
Oh really? Like a Pisces?
Like a Pisces.
Yeah. I love Pisces. Like a lot of my friends are Pisces, so that's why.
Do you know your rising or your
so I think I have like a Virgo rising or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure actually.
Virgo rising, Leo sun.
Leo sun.
You don't know the other.
I don't know the
Dang, that's like powerful. You are you're just like a work hard leader, like all of that.
Is that what Virgo is?
Virgos are very like, so my sun sign is Cancer, but I'm a Virgo rising, Virgo moon. And so I get along with Virgos really well. And Virgos are very like, I wouldn't say type A, but like they are very driven. Like they're very driven. They're very like structured and like they tend to be very successful, I would say, because they're very just like, you know, like no bullshit. Like, yeah.
I like that.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, we're both Virgo. We're both Virgo rising.
We have both Virgo in our, but Leo, Virgo, that makes a lot of sense in terms of like just being very like driven with your craft. Okay. So
it does, like there are a lot of people get scared of Leos.
They do, but I actually really like Leos because Leos are presented as these very like independent, but like they're also very like fiery in a way. Yeah. Do you think that you?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember one of my friends was like, "You're such a Leo. Like you're such a Leo." I
would not get that fieriness from you though.
I think it's because I worked on myself a lot, so I'm like, I feel like I'm so aware of it where I'm like, I need to tone it down, like, you know.
Oh, wow.
I need to and I was a very quiet kid.
Okay.
I have this kind of like introverted part of myself, and that's why I kind of like to stay home too. So I think I just kind of jump between being that fiery person and then going back to my den.
Your introvertedness. Yeah. When do you feel like that fieriness comes out the most? Or you
in love.
Oh, okay.
I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I just like, I love hard. And if you're my friend or a person or like a partner, you'll get it all. Like you'll get all of me, and I don't have like,
you don't hold back.
I don't have like a half-assed like love. So that's the part that kind of, it's good and it's bad.
Yes. So okay, I'm smiling because I'm like, okay, I resonate with this really hard.
Really?
Yeah, but it's like so you've obviously been in a relationship, a long-term relationship. So when you, let's say, get into new ones, do you feel like you have like a part of you that's like, because of what you've been through in the past, or are you just like, no, this is new and I'm gonna like dive in all the way?
I think I go back and forth a lot in my head. So I tread lightly, but they know that I have the capacity to love
that
hard.
like, deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I bring it out and then I'm like, all right, well, if you do something wrong, I'm going to revert back. And it's always a back and forth.
Kinda
And
like
it's, yeah.
No, that's interesting. Because I think a lot of times, especially in our day and age, it's very hard to do that. It's because like you're vulnerable, you have your guards down, and like, you know, like you don't know how they're gonna receive it. But like I think wearing your heart on your sleeve is like very powerful. And I think that's in my opinion, people in the comments could disagree, but like in my opinion, I think loving to that extent is the most like scary thing, because you're literally going almost like going in naked, like just this is who I am and here I am. But I think if you do not do that, you'll always live with a little bit of like, what if? Or like, could I have done this? Could I have done that? And I think there is a freedom in kind of living just like, fuck it, like this is who I am, you know?
It does come with a lot of heartbreak just because
Yes,
it's like you're so vulnerable and then you put it out there and you're like, well, I guess he doesn't want it. All right, bye.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
But I think people like you are really rare, and I think like that like we need more people like that.
Oh my god.
No, I really do. Oh my god. Okay. So going back into your like artistry now, like you have been making some incredible pieces and they're massive. They're like humongous canvases, right?
Yeah.
Monty was trying to show me earlier. How big is the one you just did?
Probably like half of this wall. Maybe like a little more than half.
So like, okay.
Yeah, like it's like a 10 by 5 or something. 5 feet. 5 feet by 10 feet.
10 feet.
Nine and a half. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
9.5 feet by 5.
So when you are starting a piece like that,
yeah,
like how do you go in with like a thought of like, because that's a huge ass canvas where I'm like, I don't want to like, me personally, I'd be like, I don't want to fuck that up. But like, do you go in with an idea, or is it like, I'm just gonna go?
I definitely go in with an idea because I also don't want to fuck it up. I have like a process of like, okay, I'm gonna draft it first, but I was also scared, like, you know, because it is a big piece. Like it's different from like, because I've done murals and for some reason it's just not the same. I think because I use cans when I do murals, but then when I paint, I use like actual brushes and acrylic. And it was definitely like a learning process because I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, how do I even do this? Like, I literally just learned on the way. I'm like, okay, am I going to buy a canvas? Because it's really expensive to buy a canvas. That would have been, that canvas that I did, it probably would have been like $500 or something just to buy the canvas, you know?
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I need to figure out a cheaper way to do it. So I got like the canvas, like rolls, and I was like, okay, I need to prime it. How do I prime it? Like, I literally have no idea. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I literally have no idea what I'm doing. And I haven't framed it yet. I don't know how to frame. So I was like, I'm just gonna look it up later.
So it's just the canvas itself is not like mounted on anything.
Yeah, no. I just pin it up, and then once I'm, I guess, ready to like do the collection, I'm gonna actually frame it and put the like wood
thing
pieces
on the back. Okay.
Yeah.
So how this is going to be like a next art show type thing, right? And then are you going to be like selling your paintings at the show?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How many pieces have you like done for this next collection?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are they all that massive?
The last one I did was the biggest one. I think that's probably going to be the biggest piece out of the whole collection. But they'll be about the same size.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just like those kind, like the larger pieces, do you
I think I've never done it before. That's why. I'm like, this collection is so different from the last like solo show. I'm not painting any portraits. I'm not putting stickers on faces. It's a lot more serious. And I'm really digging into like my fine art, like knowledge and what I've, learned growing up. And I wanted to show that because I felt like I wasn't serious before about it.
It was kind of more for like fun and like an idea came through like friends and stuff like that. But this is truly like, so
Like,
what,
yeah.
I don't know if you can tell me this because I'm sure the show is going to explain it, but like, can you tell me like what the concept behind this is, or has that not even been built out yet?
I don't think I have it built out yet. I think I really just wanted to show people like I know how to do other things besides portraits. And I started just making these paintings. I went on a trip for 4 months and came back, and I had all these pictures that I was just so like wowed from, and I wanted to show that to people. And I'm like, what's a way to kind of like show people through my eyes? And there's just like so much in the world out of LA that people don't see on a daily, you know?
Yeah.
There's so many like so much culture out of the States, and it's just I wanted to show that. And I think right now that's what it's probably going to be about. It's more of like showing
Different
other
parts
parts of the world.
You were traveling for quite a bit. So where did you visit?
I visited Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, and then the Philippines.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you were gone for how long?
4 months, I think.
Oh, wow. That's a long time. Okay. And you were also in Japan. That's where you saw Monty and Marcus, right? Right? Okay. Well, where was your favorite?
I really like Indonesia.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
I've heard like a lot of people who go there like really like it. And the Philippines. I've heard people really, really love the Philippines.
Yeah.
So I actually think that's really awesome because a lot of like I'm not very well traveled. Like I've only been to like 2 countries. So like a lot of times people who don't get a chance to go to these places, it's like you just see it through photography, right? But like I think you being able to take that and take how you visualized it when you actually saw it in real life and then through photos, like you're kind of bringing that to other people who don't get that opportunity maybe. And I think, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like I think especially with like everything that's going on in the world and stuff, and there are a lot of people that also, like you said, don't have the opportunity to travel. And you know, they probably have like maybe a certain view on that place and they don't know, you know, like, oh, it's probably dangerous over there. Kind of like Mexico. A lot of people are like, oh, Mexico's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not that dangerous in certain
We love
places.
Mexico.
We love Mexico, you know? So there are like certain places, and even in Manila, and like people are like, it's so congested there and dirty and stuff, but you've never seen the side that I've seen. Like, you know.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so deep.
Yeah.
So what did you love the most about, like, what about Indonesia did you like so much?
The culture, I think. I think they're just so immersed in the culture. You can literally walk around. It's a mostly like Muslim like community. There's a lot of Muslims there. But there's just like so much food. Everyone's driving around in scooters, and it's just like a lot going on. But you're just, I was just so in awe. And you have those cool places too, where they're like fancy spots, just like in LA. And you go to these like little bars and like all these cute drinks, and it's like there's so much fun, so many fun things that you can learn through at that place.
And a lot of people do not know this. Like, I don't really think that I've like seen a lot of people travel there, so it's like you don't actually, like, I couldn't visualize what that looks like.
I think I'm specifically talking about Jakarta too. I think when people think about Indonesia, it's like, oh, Bali, like people go to the beaches and stuff, and there's so many other places
right
aside from Bali.
Yeah.
And Indonesia in general is such a beautiful place. So
I feel
much
like a lot of
culture.
people are like moving to Bali to live there. Oh, I thought Melissa was like pointing at something. Okay, let me go back to my questions because I want to make sure that I'm like asking everything that I wanted to. I guess this is like one constant in your creativity is like, what do you think, and this could be many things, but what do you think is like your biggest inspiration? But that's a hard question.
What do I think I think right now man,
You could think about it.
yeah. Because it's everything. Like there's things out in LA where I'm so inspired about. Like I'll go outside and I'll see some signs. I'm like, that's really cool. Like there are a lot of like hand painted signs. That's sick. And then I go and travel to countries and I'm like, wow, that's really beautiful. That there's like, you know, rice fields and like these people are like working and it's 90-degree weather and it's humid and like that's very inspiring to me. That's a lot of like, you know, that speaks hard work to me. So I think just life in general.
So you're very like external environment and like
I think the external environment is what inspires me.
Do you feel like things also internally, or like do you ever feel like your art gets manifested in like your emotions and your feelings on the canvas? And like how is that experience? Like, do you sometimes go through something and then you're like, I'm just gonna go?
Yeah, I think I have so much anger, and I try to process that a lot through my paintings, and it really helps me calm down.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when I have been going through heartbreaks in high school, whatever, and that comes out in my emotions through art. And it's weird because when I'm happy, I don't paint.
Oh.
And that's scary to me sometimes. So I think right now, that's why the external world inspires me. So I'm like, because I'm like, I need to find that inspiration again. It's really toxic to be connecting my art to like the anger that I'm feeling, because I would revert back to like, I need to paint. I don't have any pain. Subconsciously, I feel like I've learned this, that I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling pain. I need to create the pain so I can create art. And
oh my God.
Yeah.
That is like such an artist mentality though. No, I mean, I think that is very interesting, because even when I talked to one of my very first guests, Bobo, who's a musician, he kind of said the same thing, where he was like, I need to feel pain to feel alive. And like all his music is very like raw and like pain driven. But that I think that kind of makes sense, because I think when you are like at your happiest or when you're feeling extreme joy, it's generally manifested in other ways, right? Like since you were younger, art was an outlet for you, and it was your way to express how you were feeling. So like naturally, if you're like feeling anger, you're like, well, let me get it out. And then it happens to be in art. But when you're like happy as shit, you're just kind of like, I'm just like living life. Like, why would I need to get anything out, you know? But I think that's really self-aware of you to realize that and be like, okay, but I want to find happiness in my art too. Yeah. So like finding that elsewhere.
Yeah. And I think when I have that feeling, I'm like, okay, I'm happy. Let's go out and, you know, explore the world. So I go out with my friends, and like you can learn so many things. You know,
just externally
too.
Yeah. So I want to ask, like, when you go through things, like even as a younger child or like just throughout your life, when you went through things, like, because people internalize things in different ways, right? Like I feel like I really like being around people when like I'm experiencing something hard, right? Do you feel like you're the type of person that, rather than feeling like, I guess it's like when you're going through things, like do you try to find connection, or do you generally like go inward and like just process it through like art?
I think it's because I'm so emotional, like I need to just cry it out all the time. Like I'm so emotional, like it sucks. That's why I feel like people think I'm a Pisces. Because I'm so emotional, I cry all the time. So I have like a process where I'm like, okay, I need to cry it out. I need to be alone. And then a week later, I'm out, you know, hanging out with friends. And that's what will make me feel better.
No, that's fair. I think that's so fair. I wish I had an outlet. Like, I wish I could like make something cool out of my like sadness or some shit, you know? No, because I think that that's cool. Like I never had that. Like I've never had like, oh, like I'm like internalizing things. I'm gonna draw it out or like. So I
I
just
feel like you probably do. You just don't
haven't
like,
figured it out.
Haven't figured, but like you just don't know what it is. But you're actually doing it. You know, like how do you like when you're sad or whatever? Like what do you do? You know,
Girl, I cry too. I'm a Cancer, so I just cry all day. No, but I think I'm the same. I cry it out like really hard.
yeah.
And I don't want anyone kind of around when I'm like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll like see friends. But I've actually realized that when I'm really going through something, I start to close. Like I like kind of like create barriers and walls. And I think friends know me so well that they're kind of like
to like come to you.
They'll know. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, hello, like what's going on? And like, but sometimes I think like as I get older, I'm more that way. Cause like when I was younger, I think I would be like, guys, I'm like so sad, you know? But now I'm very much more like, I think I just like need to like have my space. So I get that. Like I think that's a very normal reaction to like, you know, how you handle certain
because
things.
I think like, you know, we love our friends.
Yeah.
It's just you can in that moment of vulnerability, you can be easily influenced by those emotions and people can be like, this is how I feel, but you're like, yeah, you're right. Or, you know, like whatever feeling it is that your friends have, it will influence you to feel that way too. And I think like being alone is a way to like reflect on what you actually want and not other people's opinions.
That's actually so good.
Yeah.
Like that is so good because like I think you're right. Like every person is going to have an opinion, and there are times where like I have certain friends who are very blunt with me, very honest, but sometimes when I'm ready to talk about it, but I'm not ready to hear what you have to say. So sometimes when I approach a conversation, I'll literally be like, I want to share this with you because I'm going through it, but I don't want advice.
Yeah.
And like one of my best friends, Sharon, she always thinks that that's so funny, but she's actually like, I actually respect that because like otherwise I'm gonna like grill into you, and like not everyone's ready for that, you know. And I think you have to be very honest about like, listen, I love you and I care about what you have to say, but I don't want to hear it right now.
Yeah. And I love those people that are like aware of that, and because I feel like it's like you're respecting yourself, you know. And then the people that also respect your boundaries are the best of friends too, because I have friends just like that, like that are super blunt and they will tell you what it is, and I love that. Like I don't want people to sugarcoat it for me. I want you to tell me to get up off your ass and stop crying or whatever. But then I also want them to be like, I don't want to talk about it right now. I just need you to be there for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
that is such a like great thing in friendship. It's like being able to communicate that and being able to be like, listen, like I know that like what you care about me, because where does it come from? It's always from caring about you as a person and as a friend, and they want the best for you. But sometimes it's like, that's not what I need right now. Like what I need right now is just like you to like let me cry and like freaking hold me or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also being like knowing that sometimes if you're that person that wants that love right now, with your other friends to be like, I actually don't have the capacity right now, but I love you and I know you're going to be strong or whatever. I don't have the like capacity.
That's so hard though.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Hard. Yeah.
It's like I feel like even as someone who is like pretty like understanding, like when a friend is kind of like, listen, like I love you, but I really don't have the capacity to like listen to what you're going through right now. No matter what, it will sting a little. You know? No matter what, you're like, oh,
like, damn, I need you.
But I think that is like very representative of like a very strong and good friendship, because you don't want them to show up for you like when internally they're like, honestly, I really don't want to right now.
Yeah.
Because I can't. But then they force themselves to, and then it creates like tension, I think.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your closest friends are like kind of, so do you still like go to them when like you're going through?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I have two best friends in the Bay that I love going to them for advice, and they just have been there for me through everything. I mean, I have a lot of best friends, but
Mm-hmm.
them two specifically, they helped me move from the Bay to LA. They literally drove all of my things out when I, got out of that 7-year relationship, helped me pack up my things, and drove with me to LA. And they were, even if they weren't in LA, they were there on the phone, FaceTiming me through COVID. So yeah,
Girlhood.
Yeah.
We love girlhood. There is
Yeah.
nothing like girl best friends.
yeah.
Truly, like men will never understand. And it's
Yeah.
so sad. I feel sad for them.
I do too.
They'll never
God.
know. We'll never know. Okay, so I love that. I loved this segment because I feel like it's so like just I think friendship in general and like girl friendship and like the way that we navigate things together or alone and like knowing that you have that kind of network and community backing you up is just so special. And honestly, as we get older, I feel like it's more and more rare. Like I think because we
Right.
grew up in the generation that we grew up in without like social media and things like that, we have the ability to like form those kind of connections that are so deep. I feel like nowadays it's like so much harder. Like I feel like with social media and stuff, people are like more like either clout chasey or transactional in the relationships that they build. That foundation of like building friendship is so lost. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being
Yeah.
like cynical, but like I kind of
Oh.
feel that way.
I think so too. Just because I also heard that like this generation of like kids, I guess, are like super depressed because they don't like
Connection.
have the connection and
Mm.
they're just always on their phones all the time and they're not like out actually like hanging out with friends. They're literally just on their phones on TikTok or something. And that's just kind of like
It's
like
so
sad.
unfortunate, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So hopefully, yeah. I mean, I think that's why I want to like build community because I want people to like be together and
Mhm.
just know that like you're not alone.
Yeah.
or like
Speaking of that, you
Yeah.
are doing the like painting class.
yeah, like a drawing workshop.
Drawing
Yeah.
class. Okay, so how did that come about?
I've always wanted to like have a workshop, especially out here in the Bay. I used to teach like little painting workshops, or like I'll have like my friends hire me to like do a little like sip and paint. And then here I was like, I want to do that here too, but I don't want to like paint because it's just so messy. So I'm like, let's just get back to the basics, and just teach people how to draw.
Okay, so the way that you're gonna do it, like, do you come in with like a we're drawing this thing, or is it like free draw, or like how does the class kind of work?
I think I'm taking or going about it how I learned the first time
Mhm.
because I took like art classes after school and they taught me by still life. Like they would set up like little scenes with a vase and a flower, and that's how I learned to draw like
Mhm.
through that. So I'm like, that's a perfect place to start. And I think it's like super cute. I think I want to have like themes in the future, like have like certain little themes and maybe have different props
Mm.
in the future. Yeah, and I think it's gonna be really cute.
I think that's so cute, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, it just shows to like who you are. Like you just like keep going, like you think of ideas and then you're like doing them, and like I just see you as such a creative person. Like I was so excited about today, and I was like telling my boyfriend, I was like, she's like an artist, and like I was just like, she's so cool. And like I think I really admire you so much because when I started design, I think seeing you actually like in a very weird parallel universe way helped me understand kind of my direction, because I realized I was like, I started design thinking like, oh, this is it. This has to be it, right? Because I switched into it. Like I didn't do it my whole life. But very recently I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is really my calling. And the reason I was able to kind of come to that conclusion, and there was obviously a lot of external factors and like self-reflecting and stuff, was seeing you. And the reason why I was able to was because I was like, Meaghan, when I look at Meaghan, she is like a true creative where this is her passion. And passion is reflected in how she moves through her work, like you could just see it. Like you actually like really dive into it, whether it's like the 3D stuff or your painting. And I was like, I don't have that for this per se. And I think I had to be really honest about it, because I was like, no, I want to be a designer. I want to be a designer. I want to be for like years now. It's been like 4 years now. But then I was like, if I really wanted to be a designer in the way that I'm saying that I do, like every way I move, it would reflect that. But it's not. So like I just have to be like, Debbie, shut the fuck up. Like you need to stop lying to yourself. And seeing someone like you, I was just very like I was like admiring and like so inspired, because I was like, she's like just living the way that feels very true to her. And like you said, you came here with a dream and like you've just been going for it. And I was like, I have not been going for it. So like, let's just take a step back and like figure out what that is for myself.
Yeah.
But like weirdly, it like you were probably like, what the hell? But like seeing you actually really did help me register that aspect.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy. Like I think like, oh, this just it just makes me feel really good that like you're inspired by all of it, just because like I love doing this. It's like I love doing it in every aspect. And I think with what, like the 3D designer part of your career, that's what I was feeling like with like character design. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to like, I wanted to work for Cartoon Network or Disney or whatever. And that's what I'm going to do. And it just didn't I worked so hard for it. And if I feel like I wanted it, it would have happened. And it's just like, I didn't want it as bad.
Yeah. I think that's such a hard place to come to. And like, I'm sure you probably had a lot of internal battles about that, because it's like, you're like, but I spent all this time and I spent all this years, and it's like, okay, if I don't do this, then what?
Right.
But I think getting to that understanding faster is better, because then you're like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to move and shift and like change directions. And like, granted, like I didn't end up being like, oh, I'm gonna do design, like, but I think even for you as an artist, you're like, I did this for so long, but this is not the medium that I want. And like you pivoted, and like I would like to say that you are much happier now doing what you're doing now.
Yeah. And I think it's a lot easier in LA because a lot of people are doing different things at the same time. And I feel like right now you have a lot of other aspects in creative
like this,
this, and content creation. So LA is like the perfect place to do it and not feel like people are judging you for not going through that path that you were supposed to.
Because the only person that's judging you is like honestly yourself. Like nobody cares. Like nobody cares as much as you. And I think getting out of your head in that aspect is like so important. Okay, so like, what is ahead? Like, what are you looking forward to? And like, what do you feel like you want to accomplish in like the next several years?
I think I want to paint more. I think right now that's where I want to focus. And I love it so much. I didn't realize how much I loved it. And going back to, like painting while in pain, I think I'm actually painting while I'm happy too. And it just makes me feel so good. And I think that's what I just kind of want to do for the rest of my life. I love 3D. I love 2D animation. I think right now it's just a way of, for me to like pay the bills. And it's just kind of like any other job where I'm like, I know how to do this. It's, kind of like easy work. And this is where I'm going to put, like, painting is where I'm going to put my time and energy. And yeah, hopefully that's where I
think that like when you find something that you're so passionate about, I think it's so much harder to like fail in that, because you love it so much and your attention is so there that like it can only get better and better and better for you. So like I think like just like you said, you do these things that are still in the creative field to like pay the bills and stuff, but like ultimately your passion lies in your painting and your art. And like I think eventually this will probably be what like, like it's like when you're passionate enough, when you work hard enough at something, you can only like do well. And like at some point that this is probably, you probably won't need to do the 2D and 3D to make money, because like this will like blow up, and then you're like, I get to just like live doing what I love, and I'm fulfilled, and I'm making money from it, and like that's truly the dream.
And I think right now too, just because I still want like to create animations, I think I want to focus on more of like the ideas of it and not actually doing the 2D animation, because I still have so many other ideas and not just painting, and I need another outlet aside from painting too. So I think like in the future I will focus on painting, but also have a company that for myself that will, you know, hopefully expand, and I can hire people to pretty much an agency, like a creative agency, and hire people to, you know, take on clients and do the actual work, and we can collaborate, and I can still be that creative person, but not actually
doing it.
Yeah.
My gosh, Meaghan, you're so badass. You're so cool. I'm so excited for you, and I'm so excited for what's to come, because I truly feel like for you, like this is like just the beginning. Like I genuinely in my soul feel like you're gonna do amazing, and like you're gonna keep like just oh sorry, I always have to remember that some people listen to this, so I was just doing like a rocket ship going up. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I have a few like rapid fire questions that I like to do at the end of my whole thing. Some of them are not that rapid fire, but okay. Where is your dream destination location?
That I've never like been to?
That you've never been to.
I want to go to Brazil. I thought about that today. I was like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Brazil.
That was someone else's.
Really?
Yeah, like a couple episodes back.
Oh my God.
But I'm like, that's so interesting, because like usually it's like Europe or like, you know, but okay, Brazil. I think Brazil would be really cool. Also, people in Brazil are beautiful.
They are.
Like every influencer that I'm like, holy shit, like she's God's favorite is freaking Brazilian. The people there, I don't know.
They're just so tan, and like their best body.
Yeah, like I'm just like, what's in their water? Because they're freaking amazing. Okay. Do you like the hot or the cold more?
The hot, for sure.
I feel like nobody likes the cold more. My boyfriend actually does, but like anomaly. What is your like favorite food?
Sushi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's fun. What is your ick?
Oh.
Or you could have a couple, because some people have multiple, like myself.
I think when they like talk about themselves a lot.
Okay.
And then I don't have like a specific ick where if you like do something, actually I do. It's man, how do I say this?
I feel like it's very specific.
Skinny jeans, probably.
Okay.
Like what you wear. Like,
okay. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do you think skinny jeans are coming back for men?
No way.
You're like, please
I hope not.
You're like, please don't. Okay. Wait, why is this falling all over the place? Okay. Who is like your favorite music artist of all time?
Oh. That's still alive?
Doesn't have to be.
I love Erykah Badu. She's the best. I have a few. Like, I don't think I have like one specific favorite, but I listen to her a lot. And Aaliyah, those are the people that I think like
you like,
you know, in that era. But I think right now I'm really into Smino. Like I think he's very like and Doechii.
Oh, I love Doechii.
Doechii's
She's
like
so
my
good.
favorite.
Oh my god,
Yeah, I'm obsessed with her.
I thought she was gonna be at Coachella this year. I think maybe next year. But you really like Smino too. I was pointing at Moni. She loves Smino. Okay, who do you think is the best Bay Area artist right now?
Oh, the best,
or one you like really like? I guess.
One I really like now. There's like this new artist, up and coming. Artist, his name is, I think it's Seiji Oda. I'm not sure how to say it, but yeah, he's from the Bay, and he
what kind of style is his music?
It's very Bay Area, but like calm. Like you have to listen to it. There's this one song called like, oh my god, I can't remember the name, but it's like Calm Gig or something like that.
Okay.
And
We'll listen to it after this.
And it's like, it's pretty sick.
I feel like Bay Area has such a like pride around the culture and the music, and like it's a very cool like community.
Yeah.
And, like I'm just like LA kind of, but not really. Not to that extent. Like I think Bay Area pride is like very crazy and like cool. I feel like a lot of people that I've met from the Bay are very cool. Like they're very like chill and like I don't know. I like Bay Area people. Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, Timothy Chalamet.
Oh God.
I love Timothy.
He's so cute. I can see the appeal now.
Yeah.
Before I was like, what the fuck? Like, why does everyone like this guy? Like, he's so lanky and like, but now I get it. He's very charming.
And Michael B. Jordan, but
okay.
I think that's everybody.
Okay, that was mine. I will say. If you could invite anyone to dinner, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh man, these questions are good. Just one person?
Yeah, you could have dinner with. You could sit down and have like a whole conversation with.
My grandma.
Oh
my
God.
My grandma probably.
I love that. Okay. Okay, I don't really know like actual artists, but like who would you say is an artist you get a lot of inspiration from since you do art?
I love Salvador Dali.
Okay.
And Monet. I think right now I really like this artist. His name is, I don't know how to say his last name, but his first name is George. And he does a lot of like expressive, figurative portraits. And the pieces are very like, you can see the movement in it. And they're very pretty. So yeah, I don't have like a favorite artist, but those are the three that are very influential right now.
So do you like whenever you go to like different cities, do you really like to like absorb the art and go to like galleries and things like that?
Yeah. I think like since I have like the fine art background and the design background, I really love for the design part of, aspect, I really like Rhymes Like Dimes. I'm not sure if you probably have seen like a lot of his animations and 2D stuff because he works with like Anderson .Paak a lot.
Okay.
And does a lot of stuff for like I think like Travis Scott, and he does a lot of like work for music artists, which I also do, and he's also very influential.
Okay, I want to see all these people after.
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you feel pure joy? I feel like kind of I know the answer, but I want to hear it from like.
Dang. I mean, yeah, painting, painting does. But like my first thought for some reason, since this is like a rapid fire thing, is food.
Fair. So fair.
I'm like, what else?
So fair. Is there a restaurant in LA that you really love?
I think I love like the Filipino food out here. It's really starting to come up.
Wait, where? Because I don't know that many places.
There's one. It's called Lasita.
Oh my gosh, I love Lasita.
Okay, yeah.
I love Lasita. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. When I first went there, and the owner, I think his name is Chase, but he's so sweet. And like we went there when one of my best friends got her like civil wedding, and we did the dinner there, and I was like blown away. I was like so good.
There. The chicken is really good there.
Yeah, everything there was just like amazing. Is that like very traditional, or is it?
It's like it's more fusion, but I think like I like the fusion Filipino food out here.
Where's another place?
I like Kuya Lords.
Okay, I tried that too.
Yeah.
One time, and it was really freaking delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the two places I knew. So I was like, is there more? Or like...
Parks Barbecue. Have you been there before?
Okay, I love Parks Barbecue.
Yeah, that's a good Filipino. That's a good traditional.
Parks Barbecue.
Park. Yeah, I think it's called Parks.
Oh wait, there's Korean Parks Barbecue too.
Oh yeah, there's a Korean Parks,
but there's a Filipino. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I've been there all the time.
I'm not sure of the full name, but I know it's like Parks.
Okay. What does your perfect day look like?
Ooh. They kind of like interchange, but I think right now, like my mood always changes. So like my perfect day, I would say today is like probably just like being by myself. I love shopping, even if it's like window shopping, just being by myself and walking around, drinking a matcha, going to a bookstore. Yeah, just like being by myself.
When you do paint, is it like a hours long production? So it's like a whole day thing?
It can be.
Okay.
Like it just depends on how I'm feeling. I can paint for 30 minutes and then the next day I can paint for the whole day.
And do you generally, do you feel like you see kind of painting where like you do it through your weekdays and then like on weekends you kind of don't, or is it not really like that? Like you kind of just go with your feeling?
I think I just go with my feeling, but if I have like deadlines, I have to like work around that. I don't paint every day. I would say I still have like, I do have a day job. It's I don't have enough time in the day to, paint, but I wish I could. That's the goal too.
That's the goal.
So
it will happen. I'm manifesting it for you. Okay. Do you ladies have anything you want to ask Meaghan? I feel like I asked so many questions.
No, good.
Look at Melissa.
Favorite LA cafe?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
do you like matcha or coffee first?
I love matcha.
Okay.
I have two, but I go to coffee MCO for like to work, and I like just love the vibe and like the environment because there's so many like seating areas. You can work outside, you can work inside. Their matcha is not as good to me as like Alchemist. Have you guys been to Alchemist?
Oh, they have really good matcha.
So I think that's my favorite matcha spot right now. I haven't been to a lot. I've never been to like the not famous, but like popular spots like Common Grounds and
Community Goods.
Sorry, Grounds. Community Goods, and then
Common Grounds is actually a good coffee shop name though. We're trademarking it.
But I like how you picked up where I was going. And like all those other popular ones.
Well, you tried Damo today. That one's popular.
I never had it before.
Yeah,
it's really
that
good.
one's really popular right now too. Okay, those are all my questions. I feel like I just like asked so many, but thank you so much, Meaghan. I'm so excited for what's in store for you. And when you do like your next show, I would love for you to come back on and talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Thank you. Of course. See you next time.